She's crazy. She just said something to me. Anyway.
Oh, excuse me for drinking this all the time.
She's been sipping through like 7 of these reviews.
I'm just getting everybody, whoever's following me on Twitter know that I'm just getting over the flip.
And she's spreading it. She's
not
spreading her nasty little tiny germs around.
Whatever.
I don't know if anybody watched Oprah or Dr. Oz or any of those commercials when people sneeze and cough and you see all those particles fly out their mouth. That is what I see every time I see Allison nowadays.
Whatever.
Particles fly out her mouth like
I ain't got no time for that. Okay. This review is a Heart Not Easily Broken.
Love it!
Book 1 of
Buy it!
of the Butterfly Memoirs by MJ Kane. Now, there's some story behind this. We did this review probably 3 times.
We did do this review 3 times.
So if some of this looks like really goofy and like, oh, I can't take them seriously, it's because we have reviewed this book literally
3 times.
This is probably the 3rd or the 4th time that we reviewed
and it's
this
not
book.
my fault.
And it's not my fault either. Whatever. No. What happened was, I was uploading this video the first time.
That was the second time.
No, the first time I accidentally pushed delete because I was, this is my first time.
No, that was the second time. The first time, she had.
We did it and there was no sound.
There was no sound.
And that was from the first video.
From the first video, and you notice if our introductory video, if you notice some of it was
it was cut and all kinds of craziness and that's because our camera woman,
who we fired,
who is no longer a camera woman, put her hand on the microphone because right now I have a camera, but I'm not like she covered the mic so you couldn't hear nothing. And then the second time, I was uploading it to YouTube, and they said that it was too long. Or no, the device that I was uploading it with said there's too much there's not enough memory to do what you want us to do. So I was getting rid of stuff. I accidentally got rid of the review that I was trying to upload. So
she had no trash can. No backup device on this thing.
I don't know that you needed all of that
stuff. And it was gone forever.
I ain't trying to hear all of that.
However, it's a good thing because, we really was sitting there talking about, this review and, we really got into it.
Right. I just wanted to still, usually we don't talk about books. We're not talking about books because we want to kind of save it for you guys so that, but, yeah. So you might not. Yeah, we did. So like I said, it's A Heart Not Easily Broken. Book 1 of the Butterfly Memoirs by MJ Kane. It's published by Five Prince Publishing, which is out of Colorado.
Yes.
The release date of this book was in September of 2012. So it's a fairly new book, and it's getting a lot of buzz on Amazon.
Yes.
Right now it's available, I think, only through Kindle.
Yeah, I think it is.
Or no, it's only
it's an
ebook. So you can get it on Nook, Kindle, and they're supposed to have the regular book out, right? I'm looking at.
Yeah, they should be.
Yeah, I forget when it's supposed to come out. So, Five Prince Publishing is like this publishing company from Colorado. Right now, if you follow their Twitter, which I'll put all that information in the box below, they have this. They're looking for contemporary romance submissions. So anybody who's interested in submitting their work and want to get published, you can contact them or go on their website, which I'll have that in the information box below. MJ Kane, this is her first book, I believe, that she wrote, and it's wonderful.
It's a very good
if
book.
you go on her blog, which I'll put that in the more info box, there are all kinds of goodies, including deleted scenes from the book, character bios, character interviews.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really
a diary.
She has lots of goodies on her blog.
And I love that. I
love when authors give
I always
out
say
goodies.
that, all right, I think at post Twilight, you kind of have to give more. Like, if you're not on Twitter, if you're an author, and especially if you're an author that's trying to get a certain audience, if you're not on Twitter and you don't have like a Facebook page, or if you're not trying to go all out on your blog or on your website, you're not going to sell a lot of books.
Yeah,
you're really not. If you don't have some like link up with Goodreads, or if you're not, trying to promote yourself out there, you're not going to sell a lot of books. And it's so frustrating sometimes when I read a book and I'm like, oh my God, this book should be the top. Like, it's better than the books that is on the Amazon best-selling list.
You're right about that.
And it's like going nowhere. Like, nobody knows about this book, and it's because these authors, they'll write a book. You really can't do an old school style. You got to kind of pimp your books like these rappers out here are pimping their music. Like, they putting out mixtapes, they doing all kinds of stuff. So you have to kind of look at it that way.
I think she does have it on paperback.
Oh, she does?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
$14.49.
Right now, it is available on paperback for $14.90. What? $14.94. $14.49. And also, how much is it for Kindle? It wasn't that much, I don't think.
I don't know.
It wasn't that much. It was like, I think it was
wasn't
less than
$5.
Yeah. But it is available on paperback. So, as like the other review, if you have not read the book, yeah, if you have not read this book, which I say go ahead and buy it. If you have not read this book, push pause right over there. Push pause and read the book, and then come back to us and watch us. Also, like this video.
Yeah, and subscribe to it. Get on your YouTube.
If you don't have a YouTube subscription,
get
make
a
one. It
YouTube
only
subscription. I don't care if you just use it for just this video or just us. But please do that. And we know that a lot of people who are supporting us right now have watched it, and they're like, oh, it's great. However, we need you to like it, and we need you to subscribe if you really do like it and you want to follow us. So please.
Yeah, push the thumbs up.
Push the little thumb, man.
And leave comments.
And yes, leave comments.
We love honesty. Yeah. And nobody more honest than me. So, there you go.
You're right about that.
Alright, so push pause, and we will see you when you finish reading it. Okay.
That was
the
quickest pause ever.
It don't take that long to push pause on your damn phone.
Some people take their time with their, their pointer or whatever. However, we're back.
Who does that?
I do.
No, you don't.
I don't like this.
You don't even have to push pause. You just push the back button on your phone.
I do push the back button on my phone.
Okay, so
talk about the plot.
Okay. Oh, so, yeah, I didn't even tell.
I know.
I'm so tired of talking about this. All right, forgive me. Okay, tell your friend who pushed pause. Tell him to come on back because I forgot to tell him about the plot.
Come on back.
Whatever. No, the plot is about this girl named Ebony, who has aspirations of becoming a veterinarian. She went to school. She's in school now. I think this is like her last semester or last year of school so that she can become a vet. Her friends are like, oh, come on, before the school season starts, come on, let's go out, let's have fun.
Get a little booty call.
So she decides in her mind that, she wants to stay focused. She's not interested in no relationship, but, she decided to give in to peer pressure from her two roommates / friends, Yasmin and Caitlin, and they go out to this club, and, she has a good time. The person that she thought that, she caught their eye, that's not the person who came up and tried to buy her a drink. So, who is this guy named Brian. Now, Brian is the basis of a local band that plays at this particular club. Now, the thing about Brian is he is white.
Caucasian.
And Ebony is, he's good looking. Don't get me wrong. She says in the book that he's good looking, but he's not her type. She's black. She wants a black guy. She was having her eyes on the drummer.
She loves tall, dark, bald, handsome, black,
tall, dark, handsome,
muscular men.
But
she's from the South.
She's from the South, so she's, one of the cute scenes in the book is when he comes up and buys her a drink, and they're talking, and he's like, "So what's your name?" And she's like, "It's Ebony." Like she's like real standoff. Don't you see? She's like, "I know it's dark in here in this club, but I know you can tell. You can tell there's a
complexion direction in here."
And then how people always like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with that." Like exactly. He's like, "Why? You have a problem with me being white?" She's like, "No, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm just hoping that you know that I know that you know that I'm black, right? And you're white,
and you're white." So
I'm black. It was like really she was trying to put the I'm white and you're white.
We should not be together type of thing. But it was really cute.
Milk in the coffee.
And he invites her to VIP. She declines. She goes home. As fate would have it, the very next day, he pops up. The house was getting their lawn done, and he owns he
has his own lawn business.
His own lawn business that pays his rent, pays the bills.
And her roommate. Her roommate is seeing a guy who who has a roommate of his own, and it comes out to be Brian, and he told her
about his
friend who does lawn cutting. So he gave the friend the number, and
and as fate would have it,
it's Brian.
It's Brian. And he's like, I want some answers. Why didn't you come to the VIP? I thought, me and you kind of hit it off okay at the bar. Right. I wanted to get more to know
And then
you.
It's basically from there,
it's like a
relationship blossomed, but it was a lot of
build,
yeah. So that basically is the plot, and it has lots of twists, it has lots of turns.
Okay, now you can
pause.
All right, so let's get into the nitty gritty of the book.
Right.
As far as some of the characters realistic.
Right. So you have Ebony, who is the heroine. She's the main lead female in the book.
I thought she was totally believable.
I did too, especially the standoffishness. Like, I'm black, you're white. What are you doing in my face?
Because that's a real life situation.
Exactly.
And it's not the first interracial book I've read, but this is the first book. Because I'm trying to think, did I read this book before Pepper Pace?
No.
Yeah, I did. I read this book before Pepper Pace.
No.
And
you read Pepper Pace and then you read this book.
Okay, well, this is not the first book, but this is one of the first books. I'll say first couple of books I've read that really talked about how interracial or how your race can kind of dictate who you fall in love with.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter. That's the good answer on paper. Like, oh no, race shouldn't matter. Yeah. But it does.
You go through lots of obstacles.
But it does. And
other places in the country or around the world, they still have old traditions. So, that's
around
basically...
the world, right down the street.
Exactly.
Right down the street. So, people would look at you, kind of not as much in Philly, but people will look at you differently or look at you sideways, and most of the times is really the black people look at you differently.
She really did put that in the book in a restaurant scene,
and I love it. I love that.
I love that she also incorporated another couple where they're married. They went through the all right, he's white. His cousin, he's white, she's black kind of thing. And they basically were trying to, encourage them and tell them, she had problems with her family. They basically kind of, disown her. But guess what? Who matters? He does. Right.
And Brian had a past where he was dating a black girl.
Brian loves black women.
And he was dating a black girl. I love
that. I'm just going to say it. I love that. I love that because that is realistic. That is realistic. There's a lot of other races that are, not. He
got his behind whipped by her brother.
Oh yeah, he got beat down.
And his roommate Javon was he was like, "Oh, you ain't learned your lesson with them black girls."
And what's going on is that because of that, he has issues or trusting or basically almost like a trusting issue when it comes to all right, well, have you told your family about me? And her thing is she does not want to tell her family about Brian.
Because in the beginning, she didn't think it was going to blossom into her actually loving him.
And even though it has blossomed, she didn't want to tell them, oh, it's a certain time.
Because
it's the
she
right
didn't want
time.
them to be in her business.
It's the right... No, it wasn't. That was more fear than I didn't want to be.
She wasn't fearful.
Yes, she was fearful.
That was the first time she is lying. No, she wasn't fearful.
Yes, she
just didn't want her sister in her business. Her sister was always like, catty, and didn't want her judging her and all that kind of stuff. And she didn't feel as though.
So she didn't want to be judged.
This was the thing. She didn't want to come out to Brian. She didn't want to just say, "Oh yeah," talk about Brian and Brian being white. And them not seeing Brian for Brian, but seeing, oh, my sister is dating this white guy. Let me go and tell mom and dad. That's how that was. She wasn't upset at the fact, like, oh, I'm scared. It wasn't like that. She just didn't want her in her business.
No, it's not about, oh, I'm scared. Inside, she was scared. She was scared about how they were going to react. She knew how they were going to react, but she was also scared about how they were going to react. This is a guy that she loves. She wants them. She does want her family to accept him.
Right, for Brian. Family. That's what I was saying. For Brian, yes, though, not because he's just a white guy.
Exactly.
I mean, however, she didn't want them to judge him just because he was white.
They're going to do that. People are going to judge.
That's why she didn't want them in her business. I did not just say that.
She should have told him.
I said the same thing Sharon just said.
She should have told him whether or not she didn't want him to. She didn't want them to judge him for his race and instead of his character. They have to get to know him.
But if you don't tell, it doesn't. And then, of course, her sister go ballistic. And then she calls her twin brother. Because
her sister is a riot. I'm sorry, her sister is a riot. She's like, what? You gave him some? Because, I mean, you talking about him like this is like,
That's why I didn't want to tell you.
Exactly. Pop out of here.
Instance what I said, but the brother was cool. He's like, long as he treats you well, I don't care.
Yeah, I do like that. I do like that.
Or I'm going to have to come up.
She has a twin. Her twin name is Trayvon, right? Or Trayvon?
Trayvon.
Yeah. And, that's, to me, I think, if I had a twin, that would be the one person that I would value their opinion most.
Right.
Love mom, love dad, but you have
there was a lot of themes in this book. Like family was a theme.
Yeah, that was a theme.
Love, love trumping, other things. Race was a theme.
Right.
Rape, which we will get into in a little bit. That was a theme. Your friends, trust. Trust was a big thing.
A big thing, and if she had more trust into, herself and with the relationship, and Brian, she wouldn't have went through a lot of stuff. And Brian himself should have had,
if he would have just.
Oh my gosh,
that part was
Brian was going to get choked up.
Let me paint this scene. Okay. Yeah. Brian gets the opportunity to go and travel with a band for like 3 months.
Now, wait, this is all after basically he woos her. He starts wooing her. They start being in a relationship and they're a couple, okay?
So this is around the time that she's going to school. So she's like, this is great because now I can focus on my schoolwork without...
Even though I miss him. And, God, I don't want us to be apart, but, this is school and this is an opportunity for him. So she wants to see him succeed.
He goes away. Something happens where she doesn't have her student ID card. She has to go back to his apartment.
Wait. The other, I think you did mention it, but the other characters is Caitlin, which is one of her white female. It's another roommate. White female who's a roommate that she knew through college, and then she has one of her closer friends, Yasmin, and she's want to be like a fashion designer.
She's dating,
and Javon. she's dating Javon, who is Brian's roommate.
Right, but they're not exclusive.
But they're not. They're supposed to be butt buddies. Basically, that's Yasmin's
but she way is.
Yeah, but exactly. She's following him. And Javon, let's talk about Javon's character really quickly. and that will help you with what's going to happen. Javon is like he's a total egomaniac. Silver spoon egomaniac.
Let daddy take care of everything.
Daddy pays all his bills. He followed his daddy's footsteps, so now he's a psychologist. So he likes to get in people's minds. And Brian mentions that, like, you know, that's the kind of person he is. He likes to get in people's minds. I know him for a while. Really don't trust him. Ebony doesn't trust him. She has a bad feeling about him ever since she met him. You know, even though she knows that they're just butt buddies or bed buddies. She still had a bad feeling about him. Right. And now knowing that Brian is the roommate and they're together, she definitely...
Javon feels some type of way about her dating Brian.
Like, how come she's not over all this, but she over all that? Like, that black girl should be over all this.
Yeah, I don't even think it had anything to do with race. I think
exactly. It was like, look at me and look at this one.
He's the guy's gift to this world, and she doesn't
want to the world, not even to women, just to the world, to the world.
She doesn't want
dreads. He has a great physique, He's
supposed to be like the quintessential
Morris Chestnut with dreads.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Like the Morris Chestnut. I'm trying to think of a celebrity that has dreads that kind of look like I would think about him.
So so back to now. So he goes away.
She goes to the house. Brian, she lets Brian know that she has to go and get her key card. He tells Javon that she's on his way.
The pregnancy.
And
before
he left, they have this crazy behind sex scene, which I love all the sex scenes.
Great, believable sex scenes. That's what I like about it. Believable sex scenes.
There could be a possible pregnancy, but at this point, they don't really care because they know that the baby was conceived out of love, and they'll deal with that bridge when they cross it, pretty much. So she goes to the house. Javon lets her in. She goes into Brian's room to find her card, which she does. And before she can leave, Javon is being real sleazy. He's like confronting her, invading. You know how people got that personal space?
All in there. It's like, whoa. Like,
give me some elbow room.
Excuse me, sir.
So, she pretty much, she's like, why is he acting like this? Like, okay, yeah, I am with Brian. He's like, what do you see in him? And he's going through the notions of, why don't you like, a black man? You couldn't find,
you couldn't find a good
you could be with me or whatever.
I know you want
and
me.
All kinds of craziness. And then, long story short, he rapes her.
Yes.
So the part that MJ Kane.
And she ends up leaving the ID, which was the one thing she came over for. And it could have been avoided. All she had to do was let Brian help her out with her books and financial stuff.
He got an advance for being in this band.
And she was losing money because one of her internships
they didn't
let her go, and she needed, the money, and the money wasn't there. She's not going to ask her family, or she didn't want to.
She's a very proud person, and sometimes, like in Pride and Prejudice, that pride that you have will bite you on the ass, and that's
bit her hard.
And that's basically what happened. She got raped, and it's not her fault, but of course she started internalizing it, saying, "Oh, if she would have just went and took the money from Brian, or if she would have never, dropped her ID." Like, she's internalizing everything.
Like, this is
she
my
tells
fault.
nobody.
No one.
That this
no
happened.
one finds out except for her doctor when she goes to the doctor.
When she finally goes to the doctor. Now, the thing about it is, too, Javon, being a psychologist, he plants these ideas in her head. Like, nobody's going to believe you. Brian's going to think you're the slut that you are. Your friend is in love with me.
So Yasmin is not going to believe you.
And you'll have no friends. You'll have no man, yada, yada, yada. Okay, cut to the part where she finally reveals to Brian that
he comes home, he wants to make love to her, he misses her, but he notices something is wrong,
and he's asking her friends, and he
finally it comes out, because he's like, I had enough, what's going on?
I don't believe you. Get
out.
God, that part was so big, crazy.
Yes,
I had to stop reading it because I was so mad at Brian.
It's a big thing for her because it's like, you know, she didn't want to reveal it to him because of the thought.
Why would she have to lie? That was my whole question to Brian. Why would she have to lie?
Right.
Why would she lie about that? It's not like she wanted. It's not like, oh, well, I lied about him so I could get some money out of him, or she didn't even want your money.
Right.
So why would she want Javon's money? Like, even though Javon playing it in Brian's head too about
he been like, since he came back once he came back home, he's like, you noticed the difference in her, and you know you think she's true to you.
But see, that's my thing. I hated that part because it was like, if Brian really loved her, like he quote unquote claimed, he was the main one championing the relationship. She was like, I don't know, you know, maybe we should just take it slow. Maybe we shouldn't continue this relationship. He was the main one politicking for this relationship, and then he goes ahead and believes the very person that he said you can't trust, which makes absolutely no sense. And I don't think MJ Kane, you know how sometimes the characters kind of develop on their own, and then it's such a well written book, or it's such a good book that you just get passionate and put, I think, other feelings behind it. It's like, Brian, why the hell would you not believe her?
Like, for her, it was a hard thing. It's because she had stuff implanted in her brain. She didn't want to lose her relationship. She didn't want to lose her friendship. She was tired of lying to this person and that person and this person. And finally, you know, she spills the beans and she's thinking like, you know, I want somebody.
The one person that's supposed to have her back.
Because, you know, this is traumatic. Now she's scared to be in that house. Every time she's near him or she hears the name, and it helps her bring it out of her when she finds out that her friend Yasmin is going to get married to Javon. It's like, no, this can't happen.
Yeah, she was.
Now it's like that's the straw that broke the camel's back.
And I want to know how you guys feel. Like, how did y'all feel when Brian did that? When Brian pretty much didn't believe her. Like, I just feel as though I feel so passionate about the fact that if you say, or you the main one that said we should be in this relationship, you're the main one that says, you know, just take a chance, and she finally take a chance with you, and then the drop of a dime, you go ahead and turn your back on her.
Wait, I think, like, if you sit down and think about it, it was more of Brian's insecurities. Brian Brian may not say it, but Brian was still insecure about, okay, I'm white, and you wanted to be with a black man. So you chose to be with the black man that was there. Yes, you know, I love her. She's everything to me. No. But he's still a man and he has insecurities.
The thing about it is, insecurities. Insecurities, but it wasn't like she had like a flock. You know how like Yasmin, like, you know how Yasmin and Javon relationship was open. Like, okay, you my main one. Like you know how you have your number one, number two, number three. Like, okay, if number one's not available, let me
call number two, number three.
I'm gonna call number two, and yada yada yada. You got your little list, your little stable. But my thing is, she wasn't like that. Like, she never. She's like, I don't really want a relationship, regardless of who it is, because I want to be focused on my degree. I want to focus on getting this job, securing this job, becoming, you know, a doctor for animals. Like, you know, she was focused on that. It wasn't like he was, you know, she gave this inkling of, well, you know, I'm not somebody you can't trust. And I think that's what made me so upset.
It's like this.
Brian about that.
He
and then
is a guy.
She was so
he was
quick
still
to
insecure.
forgive him. Like, that was another thing. Like,
I had a problem with myself. I was raped by one of your closest friends, your roommate. You didn't believe me. That's the thing. Wait a minute. I left.
They like that guy. Like, after a while, he was kind of just using her. But not even in the beginning. He was like, well, you know, it's like, damned if you do. I really can't. Like, I really don't like him like that. He's a bad guy, but it's like, his dad is rich. And when I don't have the money to pay my rent, I could get it from him. And I've known him all this time. I might as well live with him.
Well, whatever. Close friend, roommate, frenemy. Okay. My thing is, all this time, I'm so mad that she just was like, when he came in and saw, all right, he saw evidence. He saw evidence which helped him, realize the fact that she was really raped.
Yeah, he found the card behind the.
He found her dusty ID card. He found that his CDs were out of whack. He was missing CDs. He found the missing CDs behind the chair where the missing ID was, and there was a scrape on the wall, just like she said. It should not take all that evidence for him to believe her.
For him to believe her. Like, that was my point.
But I still think, I think maybe, I don't know, if MJ Kane, if you really did put this part in there, that this is what you was leading to. He had insecurities. Maybe he did. I don't know. For me, it led to that. But I don't care whether he had insecurities or not. He should have believed her because all that you did to get her attention and stuff like that. I mean, all that.
He even set up his little nieces and nephews.
And that was my best part. He set up the nieces and nephews like they got lost in that.
I want to be
at the zoo and stuff like that. But I was upset that she was just like, oh God, he believes me. Oh. Yeah. Like, no. No, what, like Allison said, if this was me, this would have went a little differently.
Every movie I watch, every book I read, I always say, if somebody would have wrote me in the book, this would have went a little bit differently. No.
Because, I mean, no.
I was like, hold up, pause.
Look how she was in the beginning. Think about it. Look how she was in the beginning. Like, excuse me.
Yeah, she had a hard shell.
Hard shell. What's going on? I understand that, he kind of broke that shell down. But I still would have been furious because you're supposed to love me. You're supposed to be there for me
from the beginning.
Exactly, from the beginning. Like, this is something hard that I had to go through, and I went through this alone, and I finally come clean to you because I'm tired of lying to you, and I'm tired of lying to my friends. You should have believed me. And no, just because now you believe me and now you're man, you want to go whip this guy's ass, excuse my language, it does not, that
doesn't mean that I'll forgive you.
That is all is right in Ebony Bryan world. No, it's not.
Because that's a serious allegation. It's like, okay, you don't. Why would somebody lie and say somebody?
Exactly. You would not lie. I'm like,
okay, I'm gonna lie because he
knew her character. He knew her character.
Right, he knew her character. She wasn't slimy.
She wasn't slimy. She's not gonna lie about that.
She's trying to be a doctor.
Thank you. Why would because she was changed. Just because her, she was having some times where it's like, I don't understand why she's acting like this. She don't usually act like this. Just because she had a couple of those times does not make you should not see her differently from that.
Right.
You should not. You should have known that something was wrong.
I won't know until, and the thing about it is you would know because I forgot to mention that the point of view of the story is
it's Brian and Ebony's. And they go
flips in, but it's not crazy done.
It's very well written. You'll know who's Ebony, when Ebony's talking, when Brian's talking, and it's not like a pause.
Now, what I will say, critically, with some of the stuff that I didn't like about, particularly that, was inviting Yasmin's point of view within the story.
Yasmin's point of view at the end of the story.
She's supposed to be talking to MJ Kane on Twitter. Hey, MJ.
Hey.
Talking to her on Twitter. She's the next book, because remember this is book 1 of the Butterfly Memoirs.
And it's going to be
serious.
I know.
The Butterfly Memoirs.
It's like a TV show to us. It's like movies.
I swear I be seeing these books in my head.
We do.
No, but the next book is supposed to be about Yasmin.
And it's 6 books, right?
It's 6 books in the series. Wait a minute. I know what's the title of that book? Jaded. That's right. She told me the title. It's the next book is called Jaded.
Yes. And as you've seen
about Yasmin, she even revealed the cover of what the cover is going to look like.
As you've seen on the cover of that book, it was a blue butterfly on a guitar. And it basically is symbolizing that Brian is the musician, and he has the guitar.
And you really don't understand what the butterfly means.
But the blue,
if you go on MJ Kane's blog, and like I said, we'll have that in the info box below. It shows I don't know if you would call it a deleted scene or because in the book too, I even said it prior to me I didn't even know about the website. Yeah. But in the book, I was like, when she got the tattoo of the butterfly, I said, that was random. I was like, that was really random.
He explained his tattoo.
Yeah, and I was like, and she never explained why. He was like, oh, you got a tattoo. She's like, Yeah, I wanted to, because you have a tattoo. I wanted to get
and my tattoo is,
reminds me of something. So on the website, it tells you what the whole butterfly meant. She had seen a butterfly on her. I don't know. I don't want to mess it up, but go ahead and read that. Yeah. It's about a butterfly and how she seen this butterfly. I don't know. Did you get a chance to read it?
No, I didn't read that part.
No, it's on the website. If you go on there, it tells you about how she was sitting on their porch or on the window, and she saw this butterfly falling, and so she caught it, and she was trying to like nurse it or whatever, or like touch it, touching a butterfly, and when she it kind of like blew away. But then it started flying again. So it was like, we have our ups and downs, but we can bounce back, I guess that's what it meant. Yeah. I don't know.
So her very first tattoo is this blue butterfly on her hip. This is her right hip. On her hip, right? And then for him, he has these interest. Yeah, he's a bass guitarist. But the reason about the tattoo thing is that he has like these intricate, like nice little tattoos on him that has like little, characters or what's it, animals or symbols on them. And he explains to her each symbol.
One. And this is what the book looked like. Yeah, so that's the blue butterfly, and I don't know if you can see that guitar because it's so black.
Yeah. But he explains to Ebony that these aren't just random tattoos. If he's going to mark his body, they're going to mean something, and he tells the meaning of his tattoo. So that before he left? It was before he left, right?
Yeah, because she asked it was, I think, after the first time they had sex. She asked him what
No, but I'm saying before he left, she got the tattoo.
I don't remember. I don't even remember that part. I think it was before. I'm gonna reread.
I think it was. Yeah, we always reread books that are good,
especially books that I love.
I think it was before he left. She revealed the tattoo.
She revealed it. No, he revealed it. He was,
that thing from
getting it in.
And he saw the tattoo. And then that's when he was like, "Oh wow, you got a tattoo, yeah."
So the next book, Jaded, has a green butterfly on it, and then it has a laptop. Because that symbolizes her little, I guess, boo thing. Her little love thing. Her love interest.
And I know who that boo thing is. It's the guy that came in.
Yeah, Zachariah. Yeah. I don't think it's a secret because she at the end of this book is a little prelude to the next book.
It's a little blurb. But yeah, like Allison was saying about how Yasmin,
I think she should have had the epilogue
at the end. At the epilogue, I think that too.
But I didn't like the
because I would have loved it to finish with just them two.
That should have been from Brian's point of view about. Yeah. Oh yeah, I just want to do something nice for her and stuff like that. Like that could have been more like that. But I don't think it was. Maybe how sometimes it's like, well, I don't know how I would tell like Yasmin point of view, but I just would have just left that out because I didn't see any. I guess it was trying to introduce her. I don't know, and I'm interested to see if like Caitlin is going to have a story or maybe
she probably is.
Another person. She don't really have no light character. She don't. What would I want to learn about Caitlin?
Well, Caitlin she's I don't know. She's
she was one of them characters. I was like, oh well.
Maybe we'll learn more about her character in Yasmin's book.
In Yasmin's book. Mm-hmm. So I definitely.
Did you like the ending?
Oh, their ending? I thought that was cute.
It was cute. I liked it too. I like the fact that the dad was like.
I like the fact that
all over Brian now because it's like you beat that. Like you know what I mean? Like you defended my daughter's honor. Like you did that, yeah. And I liked that. And it was just like you are worthy, and it doesn't matter what race you were. You defended my daughter.
Right.
You are willing to go to jail for my child
because you love my daughter.
And I love that.
I like that. And it's like another thing too is like she's grown. She can do whatever she wanted to do. It's not like she was a young. Yeah. They both were grown. They were like in their 20s or 30s or something like that. It wasn't like they were kids and you're like, oh, you shouldn't talk to that boy.
So who was your favorite character?
My favorite character in the book, I think it was Brian. Because I like
Brian.
I like characters that are bold like that.
I like Brian's dad.
I like the fact that he's
I love Brian's dad. Like, Brian is not really Brian. He's like a junior.
Yeah, I forget what his dad's name is.
I can't remember his dad's name. Yeah. I like the fact that they he had a nickname for him.
His dad was
just Brian's sisters were hilarious. Like, he has like how many sisters he have?
It's 4? Like 4 of them. Yeah, he has like 5 altogether. I think it's like 4 sisters.
And he's the only boy, and I'm just oof.
Yeah, I like Brian. I think Brian, I like the confidence that he has, and I like the fact that, like that was the only part that, I think that's another reason, like, because he's my favorite character in this book. I think it's the simple fact that he was so quick to, like, let her
to discount her like that.
Yeah, like to discount her. Like, really? Like, really? I didn't have to be with you. You wanted to be with me.
That's right. I stayed away from you. You kept stalking me.
You wanted to, don't get it twisted. Like,
I could have gave you your money.
I didn't have to be with you.
Exactly. I could have gave you my money for, for the lawn care instead of going out with this date with you. Call it gosh, name. Oh, you know who my favorite character? Even though it was a short character, it was like one of my favorite characters.
Who's your character?
Was the old man at the nursing home.
That dirty old man.
He was giving Brian the dirtiest look. But guess what? That old man came in for Brian because his son is the one that let him.
Oh yeah, that gave him the job.
His job. So
I'm trying to think.
What else?
I'm trying to think. Let me see. Well, we own it, loan it, or burn it. I think we said this. We own it.
Own it. Own it. Right. Own it. Buy.
Buy the book. Support the author.
Buy the paperback.
Yeah, support the author.
I would buy the paperback.
I think as for her first time out, it's a very good book. Yeah. She's very accessible. If you could talk to her about the book on Twitter.
She talks back to you. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand some authors can't, talk bad or.
I mean, you just
they have a lot of followers. I understand it, but she's very accessible and she talks back to her fans.
And the book is really, really good. It's very, really good. Very good. I mean, it's some small grammatical areas, but it's not something.
I mean, it was we read the ebook part of it, so
yeah. So I'm pretty sure
the same grammatical errors is not going to be in the paperback.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm sure of that.
I might just get it in paperback just so I can have like the physical hard copy.
Yeah, especially because it's going to be 6 of them. I definitely want to see them.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that, Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get the paperback, and then I'm gonna have it to my little collection. Could you see this book on like TV, like on the silver screen, like a Lifetime movie or like a little mini series or like
just the book?
Hallmark, the book
or all the books.
No, just this book. I don't even know.
Like a mini series.
Like, that would be cute, right?
I think this would be cute.
Hallmark channel.
Yeah.
Not too big, but like something like Lifetime.
Like a mini series.
I definitely would watch it. Like, you know how they had like The Good Witch? I don't know. I was watching that all weekend. They had that on TV. That was good.
Yeah, but
I could see like each one, like every year, another one come out. Like Ebony's book. And then Yasmin's book, and then
or even if they did a mini series and it was only for like a season, and it was just like each book had its own little 2 hour, 3 hour, 2 hour film, like an hour or some change film. Yeah,
I would love to see this on there, and on her blog she has who she thinks. Like, and you know how when you read a book, I know I'm not the only one that does this.
You're not.
You visualize.
You guys do it. You guys do it.
Is so like in when I read it, because remember the way I stumbled upon this book was I was reading a lot of Pepper Pace, and I was reading some other books, and it was.
She was reading some interracial books. That's all.
Some interracial sex books. It was in my recommendations.
So you read everything that's in your recommendations?
I try. That's my goal.
Okay, another bag. Keep going.
That's my goal. I like to read like what's on the bestsellers list, like what's on the New York bestsellers list, and what's on Kindle or Amazon bestselling list. And I love reading recommendations. The only thing about recommendations is sometimes they recommend the same type of book, so you feel as though you're reading the same one over and over again. So I was like, oh, this is probably another Pepper Pace book, so let me go ahead and read it. And surprisingly, it wasn't. It was really good, and I stumbled across it, and I was like, let me read this. So it was by MJ Kane. I didn't know if the author was a male or a female. So after I read it, and I told Sharon to go and get it, and she actually bought it. I
bought it. I was like, yeah, click.
I was like, no.
I was like, one click buy.
She was like, oh, okay, I can just read it on your Kindle. I was like, no, go ahead and buy it. It's a really good book. Really? I said, yeah, it's a really good book. So I was talking about it, and she was like, all right, I'm going to read it. So she went ahead and bought it.
It was great.
And then I went on the website, and then I seen who she had up there, first I found out that MJ Kane was a female. And then so she...
Sorry about that. No offense.
She went on, had the picture of who she thought Ebony was, and she had Laura London on there.
Yeah.
But I didn't picture Laura London in my head, but that's who she had on there. And then she had Paul,
the guy from the Fast and
Paul
Furious.
Walker.
Yeah. And once she told me that, I was
telling Sharon,
that's exactly who I thought was Brian. That is Brian Paul Walker.
That was, Paul Walker or the guy from Four Brothers. What's his name?
Sexy.
What is that guy from Four Brothers? The one that they want, somebody was like, oh, he should be the next Christian Grey. I forget, Hudlin something. I forget.
Which one of the brothers?
From Four Brothers, the younger one that got shot.
Oh, the one that got shot and killed. Oh, I know
the cute one. The one that was in Tron.
Yep.
Him. I was picturing him in my head. I was like, okay, I can see him in my head.
I like Paul
But
Walker.
the girl, who did I think?
I know you didn't think,
because I thought she was a little bit.
You thought she was
more chocolate.
Yeah, I thought she was more chocolate too.
I said it too, and I can't think of who it was. You know, like a Gabrielle Union type.
Yeah.
Somebody like a Kerry Washington, just a little younger.
Yeah. Like a young
Kerry Washington, Gary.
Yeah.
Or at least I didn't think on the terms of Laura London, but now that she said Laura London, I could see Laura London playing this role. Or like a Sanaya Lathan, and it kind of reminded me too. That Simon Barker, because I was like, "Oh, this is like that movie."
That's like that movie. Yeah.
What was that movie called?
Don't ask me. You know I forget titles of movies.
What was that movie with Sanaya Lathan? And
basically, it's the movie
something new,
where she,
I kind of got that feel in the beginning because I was like, oh yeah, she got the.
But then it changed totally over, and I was like, this is definitely not the movie.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. But yeah, I love this book.
This is definitely a buy.
Yeah, just buy it. I'm about to buy it again. And then like I said,
I'm about to buy it again.
I am.
Yes, the paperback.
I'm about
she means the paperback. She's going to buy the paperback this time. So.
What else? Like I said, the stuff on the Ebony's diary. Yeah. You got to read that. See,
so basically,
stuff like that.
Basically, go to our blog. Just go to our blog and
Yeah, and just sit there and read all what's going on.
I mean,
the scenes.
Definitely.
Oh, she got new stuff for book 2, which I'm kind of interested in seeing that because Yasmin thinks she cute anyway. Yeah. Who you think would play Yasmin?
I have no idea.
Now Yasmin is interracial. I think her mom is white and her dad is black or something. Like she's like she thinks she just Miss High Solidity and that guy. Just
and that's why she was
burned. Puts her in her place.
So anyway,
what you thought about that?
She was burned.
Like about her.
First of all, she came off as a tough character.
MJ Kane.
She came off as a tough character.
Why would you make her fall in love? But that is true.
She came off as a tough character, and then came out to be a little mush.
No, that's true. You ain't never know of your girlfriend who was like, girl, I'm playing him. Like, he ain't nobody. He want all of this. He want me. I ain't sniffing. My nose ain't open for nobody, right? And then the first time they say I love you, the first time they buy you a piece of jewelry, the first time they take you out to a nice meal, she like, oh, I could get used to this. You don't know nobody like that?
You know what I'm talking about. Minutes in her head to figure out who I'm talking about. I'm sorry, I wish you guys were here. She was busy looking around
what?
Like she's like the person who's gonna pop out of thin
her. But the main thing, you know, the person who like, oh, you got me mistaken, yada yada yada. And then at the very end, this person is the main one who, you know, catching feelings for somebody, and you know this person's a sleazeball, but she got her nose so open and she, you know, she fall for the trap. She fall for the, you know how they say somebody is, but they call them
whipped.
Yeah, that's what it is.
She wanted the D, now she's whipped.
And now she's whipped, and it's like I could see, like I really can see that. So now, book 2 is going to be excellent because it's like, oh, now she's hurt. She got her little feelings hurt, and you know, I wonder if she gonna bring Ebony and Brian back into this book.
I think she should. That'd be nice, just to get a little.
Because Ebony is her friend, but she might feel some type of way because it's like my quote unquote fiance had sex with my girlfriend.
He raped her.
Well, yeah, raped my girlfriend.
Raped her.
That's crazy. That is just crazy to me.
Well,
I don't know.
So
that's gonna be good.
This is.
Oh
great.
wait, when is that coming out?
This is
March 2013. February
March
2013. Somewhere,
I think
2013
it's March.
somewhere.
I think it's March. You know, don't.
But I give this, just like I give this book a thumbs up this video.
Yes.
Like
please. Press the little thumb man right there. The one with his thumb up.
What's the next book that we're gonna review? I know I want to read. Yvonne Wombs. Let me see. I got
Beautiful Dead?
No. The next one.
Life Eternal.
Yeah, it's part. No. Not Life Eternal already came out. The next one. It's a third book coming out.
Okay. Oh yeah. But you want to review Life Eternal?
Oh yeah, we can review it.
So yeah, that'll be our next review. It'll be Life Eternal.
We should do like genres. Like, what do y'all think? Like, all right, some books that are kind of too old for us. Like, it's so like what I was saying to Sharon was some books are just too old to review. Like, I'm pretty sure all y'all are like kind of tired of the 50 Shades of Grey. Like everybody's talking about that. But we can do like a BDSM blog. Like we could do a whole journal on the whole 50 Shades
on different,
of Grey.
and
or
different.
Like the whole fact that
some books that are the same, like definitely the BDSM
the
books.
I can do it too books,
and you'll learn about that in the next video. But that's all we have for this blog day.
Yep.
Or this blog.
Till the next time.
We will see you then.
I'm so glad we had this time together.
This is what happens when
when I'm tired,
she's
sick,
tired and sick,
and want to go home.
So check out MJ Kane.
A Heart Not Easily Broken, the Butterfly Memoirs, book 1 of the Butterfly Memoirs.
Yes, and she's on Twitter.
MJ Kane. She's on Twitter.
Check out her blog too.
She's on her blog and she's on Goodreads blog.
We're a supporter.
All right, bye.
Bye.